So if you've been following along at all with me and some of these videos that I've been doing, you know that when my granddaughter Dakota was here, I had finished up this bed and we planted some seeds together. This is like a fall crop, late summer. It is, you know, I planted this in August, I guess. But we're finishing this up. I'm going to be putting in another bed here, and I want to throw at least another one out there. I've got a compost that I just recently did out of some pallets over there. We've got a few things going on, but the major problem that I have is with the dogs. I mean, Sadie was coming in here and eating lettuce until I found some deterrent for her. She was going right through this. So I'm digging a post hole right now. I'm actually gonna run a fence line across here to fence the dogs out, and this portion of the yard gets to become my little mini farm when I'm done. So I'm going to be using, again, recycled pallet materials. You can see the pallet trellis there, little pallet decorations there, a little pallet compost pile over there, and hopefully we'll get some of that on video. Hey, as you can see, I got some fence posts dug today. I didn't get posts in the ground. I didn't get concrete today, but these are down about 1.5 feet deep. That should be fine. I'm going to throw another one over here that's hiding in here by the cucumbers and put the fence across here and get this up so we can fence these new garden beds up, fence them away from the dogs so they don't tear everything up. Got my third bed lined out today. I'm milling down some really ugly looking lumber that I salvaged from down the street, trying to get some fairly straight pieces out of it, so hopefully we'll be able to build a fence across here, be able to fence the dogs out and have something that looks fairly decent rather than just a bunch of pallets stacked next to each other to keep the dogs out. So progress is happening. I got the holes dug, and Kyle and I got these fence posts set just the other night, last night I believe it was, as a matter of fact. And I'm getting ready to set up a couple of rails on these, cut this down the size, and start framing up our fence to keep the dogs out. So cool, I ripped off the top of the fence posts today. I ripped them down to the level that I want. I've got my bottom, my base runner board along the bottom, which I went with a full 4-inch length. So it's definitely not going to have any trouble ever sway backing or sagging. And then I went with a narrower 2-inch run along the top for that top rail. And now I'm starting to put on the face boards of this picket fence, which I'm getting off of the pallets over there. And the main thing that's been a hassle is trying to find pallet wood that's consistent. You know, they're all different. They're different widths, they're different lengths, they're warped, they're split. So right now I'm just trying to find all the pieces right now that are in the 3¼ to 3½ inch range. And then I'm tacking these up with a few screws right now to tack them in place. And then because it is pallet wood, it's been dried, some of it's hardwood, it's really prone to splitting pretty easy. I'll probably come back through pre-drill and then set final screws on this so it stays in place. But as you can see, the fence is coming along to keep the dogs out of the little mini farm that I'm trying to create. A few more flats on there now, a few more fence slats on there. It's actually starting to look like something. Pretty soon, have it all the way across, then we'll be able to put a gate across this section here. And then, sorry doggies, you don't get to dig in the garden anymore. Alright, so that's it. We've made it all the way across with this first span. I actually ended up destroying my sawzall doing it, which I'm going to have to take back, see if I can get another one up. And we just got closing this up, coming up with whatever kind of gate we're going to go across here. But it looks pretty good. It worked out pretty good for a free fence. I had the 4x4s were scrap from a place that I used to work, and most of this other material was salvaged from down the street and or from pallets. So pretty good stuff. So there it is. Now the gate is finished on the fence to keep the dogs out of my back, I don't know, my back 40 by 60 or whatever size plot this is. And they're going to be bummed out for a while, aren't you, Bree? They're trying to figure out what's going on, why they just lost part of their favorite part of the yard. which is a little bit of a bummer, but after they get used to the idea that there's some sections in here of the yard that are mine, and to stay out of it and stop eating the lettuce, so that's it. Really, there was hardly any expense here at all. All this was pretty much recycled. There's some pressure treated posts in here that would have been an expense if it weren't for me getting them for free, basically some recycling. Couple of pieces of wood in here. You can see the runner boards up here and the ones along the bottom that hold the basically the planking, the pickets, which are from just from these pallets over here that I've been recycling. But aside from that, this was just some other recycled lumber I got somewhere else. These were horrible, twisted, hammered, warped looking wood, and I just ripped them into new, decent, straight ones with a string line. So that, and I paid for a little bit of gate hardware, a couple of hinges over there, and a little bit of concrete to sink the posts in. But that's it, guys. Pretty simple, pretty cool.